Hi, this is Matthew. Just gonna do a quick overview of a Canadian series I really like. It's from Canada called Heartland. It is a CBC series. It has been on since 2007. Has 18 seasons so far. There will be a 19th in the fall. Interesting parallel. The show Murdoch Mysteries that I also reviewed also has the same number, and will be back in the fall for 19. So they've always kind of been on in parallel, which is kind of cool. Still both going. So this one revolves around a ranch in Alberta. It was a novel series, but the novels are in Virginia. I've not found them in anything accessible that I know of. Even the Canadian Library doesn't seem to have them available. I forget her name. Lauren Brooke, I think, is the author. It's a pseudonym, apparently, of other writers, including one of the producers, Heather Conkey, who writes for the show now, or is producing at least. She's involved with the show, apparently. Still has been. Is a ranch in Alberta. Town next to it is called Hudson, which is fictitious. It's outside of Calgary, which I think it's like an hour away or something on show stuff. And I've looked up things they've referenced occasionally just to see where they are. They're definitely kind of around that area. And it's filmed around there too, so lots of Canadian Rocky Mountain scenes, and I'm sure very pretty scenery. I'm sure where this is filmed and shots they show. But it is a family called the Bartlett family. They are a ranch. It's horses and cattle. Now they have bison. They have some bison now. In the current current season, which is 18. You have Jack, who is kind of the grandfather figure. He was married once to a woman named Lindy who died years ago. Her mother his kid was Mary, who had a daughter named Amy with Tim Fleming, who wasn't around as much. Amy and her mom, the show starts out with them trying to rescue a horse named Spartan, and like 5 minutes into the show, the mother, Mary, is killed. There's a car that comes out, the truck and trailer go off the road. She unfortunately dies. Amy is okay. She gets Spartan out of the trailer. Pretty horrific. She's 15 when the show starts. And gets him back to the ranch. I forget how, but she takes on Spartan. Trains him and rides him. She discovers she has her mother's a horse whisperer kind of thing, and Amy takes this on too. She kind of has this also ability to take horses and figure out what's wrong with them with various people that word gets out, and she is able to help people out in various situations. So most episodes revolve around her with a horse. Usually it's a problem with the horse, and that's was with the rider. Sometimes it's some kind of traumatic event or situation the horse has dealt with, and they have to figure out what it is. That's always kind of interesting. She does do show jumping with Spartan and dressage with those whips or whatever. I'm not quite sure how that works, but he's still in the show now. She's basically retired him from all that kind of stuff. He is around. You see him occasionally. I know he's been a companion horse for a few horses that need other horses just to be around. for whatever reason. So he's kind of doing most of that now. He just kind of is on the ranch. Actually, he does some trail riding occasionally, I think, but nothing strenuous, really, because he has an older horse. I forget what her current horse is called. I can't remember. She meets a guy named Ty. They marry at one point. He, spoiler, and he has also, unfortunately, he dies. I forget how. The actor didn't want to do it anymore, but the show. But I forget, he had some horrible thing happen where he died very suddenly. But they had a kid named Lindy. She is still around. She's about 5 or 6 now. You have that. Then you also have Lou, her sister, who I think is older. Was doing a bunch of stuff in New York and stuff, and came back, and eventually decided to have a dude ranch. She'd had a kind of rough relationship with Peter, her husband. They at one point had divorced, but now they're kind of working things out together. They do have a kid named Katie. She's around now, still at the ranch. She's about a senior in high school, I think, at this point. I don't know if it's the same kid as when she was born. I'm not sure. She kind of appeared eventually at some point as being more active and having more dialogue, so I'm not sure if it's the same actress or not. But also, in the meantime, she kind of raised a girl named Georgie who was kind of rough around the edges, didn't really have a lot of some issues there, but she is okay now, out riding around, doing competitions and stuff. In Canada, I think some in the U.S. too, with a guy. She hadn't been around for a while. She comes on occasionally. Amy had a few friends. Ashley, who was off the show, and then Mallory was like a neighbor kind of kid who was over there a lot. She is off with a guy named Jake that they knew. I think they were doing stuff in Mexico, but they're kind of, I think, in the area somewhere doing stuff. They don't come on very much either. But very pivotal early on. It was a young kid. But now she's, probably close to her 20s, that kid is now, I think. I kind of miss her. She was kind of interesting to watch it. Other people have been around the farm, or ranch, I should say, over the years. Quite a few people. This is multi-generations, like 3 or 4 or 5 generations of people in the Bartlett kind of Fleming stuff, family. Yeah, Amy has not remarried. But she's still doing her horse stuff, and Lindy's around in school and different things. There've been a few other kids that have run around. Parker and Jade. Lots of people have been around. Various other clients from the horse stuff. Things with the cattle stuff that Tim just did come back around with Amy, and just it doesn't from when Mary died, but he helps do some cattle stuff with Jack and does some bison stuff. He has a riding school also that he does and helps trains kids. There's been some kids that have come from that school that have been around also. Lewis working some things out with Peter. They're basically more or less together now. They're trying to work that out. Don't want to spoil it too much for anybody who hasn't seen it. It was just a fun show. If you like pretty scenery, my aunt who loves horses would probably like this show if she could figure out how to do it. Streaming wise, and this people from church, they like it. One family of church people that I go with, they love this show. There is a bunch of ways to watch this show. It is everywhere. It's syndicated locally. I mean, it's on Hallmark. A bunch of things like that. Streaming wise, I know it's on Netflix. It's on Peacock. It's on Hallmark Plus. Dove, which is a Christian thing, they have it on that channel and that service. Up has it there, and their Faith and Family service. They are the exclusive streaming provider of it here in the U.S. They have all the seasons. They have one episode left of 18 to show. So they're just about caught up with it. Others are, some are on season 17, some are on 16, some are on 15. I know the BYU with the Mormons, they have it on their channel. That's a free service. They're close. I think they're on maybe 16 or so. It's on some other streaming on-demand providers of cable. It's on VIX, the Univision Televisa Spanish thing for here in Mexico and other places. In Spanish, they have through 14, but you can watch it in Spanish, or if you know someone who doesn't, maybe has that service, they have it. I know it's dubbed on Netflix as well in Spanish. Audio description, I know it has it in Mexico on this show on Netflix. I use the VPN and use a CBC's Gem service, which is free, but I watch so much that I actually pay for the premium service. It's like $3.99 or so. US dollars. It's around 5 Canadian or so. But I watch so much stuff. I've paid for it for years, and I watch it that way. And I watch it when it airs in Canada, which will be in the fall. Up usually gets it towards the beginning of the year, February, March-ish time frame, usually April, somewhere in there. Kind of when it's close to being finished in Canada. I guess they have to wait a bit. But it's all available there. It's all described. Much like Murdoch Mysteries, it's had about 3 providers of description, I want to say. But I do enjoy watching it. There's just, all the horse riding stuff, the cattle herding that happens occasionally. Just little things you want to know about. There was also a dog, Remy, that was around for a while, but she died, unfortunately. I forget what they found her. She was just kind of a, dog around the ranch. It was kind of sad. Yeah, it'll be sad when Spartan dies, because he's been on the show since the beginning, too, that horse of Amy's. It's just an interesting show. Just the dynamics of the family and how they do the business. Really kind of reminds me of people in the Midwest, honestly. Kind of the prairie areas, kind of, I guess, the Midwest of Canada anyway. They obviously do pretty well, but they don't really flaunt their wealth if they really have it, I guess. It's on so many faith-based Christian channels. I don't know if they don't overtly say that they're Christian. There's, some mild language, so I'm not sure. I guess some of them might remove it, but mostly it's not a show that has a lot of language to worry about if you're concerned about that. Doesn't bother me, but they don't ever go to church or anything, but they just seem like cool people. I wouldn't mind hanging out with them, Don't know how much help I'd be on the ranch, but it'd be cool to hang out and see what they're doing in their lives. But I do enjoy the show. It's coming back, as I said, in the fall. They had 18 episodes for a while, but then they're down to 10 for most seasons, 11. A couple seasons back it was 15. It's back to 10 again the fall. I hate that, the shorter runs, because you just really start to get into it and to know what's going on currently with the family and everybody. And it's over by around Christmas, and it's sad. I enjoyed it when it was on longer. It seems to start usually... Seasons tend to kind of do a kind of summer, fall time, and early winter, kind of somewhere in that kind of range of time. That's what they tend to show usually. Mostly in the obviously spring, summer, fall months, just because cattle and stuff. They had some winter stuff, I guess. They did have one Christmas episode in season 4. It was like a TV movie. I know on CBC it's included in season 4 at the end. I don't know if all of the streamers and stuff have it. I know BYU has shown it. I know it's been shown in syndication, which is what they tend to run that package. I think they're in about 16 or 17 on that. But the closest, I know it's on Prime also, but I don't know if you have to purchase all of it. I know season 1 is available to watch. I don't know how many you can watch, but you could definitely purchase all 18 seasons there if you wanted. And obviously you just get them as they come out, I guess. Lots of available places, all kinds of places to watch it. Dove has it on there as a Christian channel, but they're on Friendly TV. They have a Spirit of Heartland channel, which just shows Heartland all the time. So there's all kinds of places to get your fix for it. Just kind of look around. If you have it as a service, it's probably on there. And as I said, all the kind of Christian faith, kind of family-based ones, they have it. It is everywhere. There's no shortage of places. It's on syndication also, locally and other stations in the country. So if you wait long enough, they're probably going to go right back around to it. I know it's on Hallmark itself and on the Hallmark Plus service, which I have gotten some things for my mom and other things to watch. Pretty affordable service. Has a lot there, especially if my mom who likes the Christmas movies, and she might miss one. But yeah, Heartland is there, I think through 15 or 16 seasons. But eventually, on Hallmark or even locally, they're going to go back around to season 1. So you might wait and try to, if you have a DVR, you might try to start it at the point when they are rerunning it from the beginning. The way it'll just be there, but you can stream it. As I said, lots of places. Even Plex has it. Tubi, Pluto TV, I think, has it. There's tons of. Those are both free streaming apps. Lots of places to watch it. It's an interesting show. I didn't think I would like it, but I got sucked in by that pilot. I wish Mary hadn't died in the pilot. Would have been nice to have seen her mother and working with with Tim and stuff, but they didn't go there. I feel bad for that actress because she's only on screen for about 5 minutes and she's gone. So yeah, Amy's had a rough life. That, and then marrying Ty forever and ever, and then he dies, and she has to the grief from that. It's just it's sad, but she pushes on. Like we all do. She has Lindy, of course, her kids. So had a few scares with her in the 18 getting lost a couple times. It kind of freaked her out. Obviously, your kid's missing, you can't find her. So she was fine. Lots of stuff with as I said, the horses and the cattle business, and she has to find a guy, Nathan, who's a nearby ranch. His dad knew Jack forever. Yeah, Jack was also a rodeo guy like Tim. Obviously a little bit different generation, but has that rodeo background and connections through that, and just other ranchers and farmers around the area that he would know and would have worked things out with and stuff. But she's kind of interested in his son. The father did die of Alzheimer's, I think, at the end of the season, I think. So there might be a possible interest with him and Amy, possibly. Little different personalities, but seeming to kind of be interested in each other. And plus just working out, they're right next door, and they've had some water issues and trying to work things out to keep each other going. And there's a partnership between them and selling their beef and bison in the area, different stores and stuff like you would need to do with neighboring people. So that's going on. As if you like horses and pretty mountain scenery and Canadian prairies and Canadian Rockies stuff, give it a look. As especially if you're a horse person, like some people I know are, who love it. I just like the whole thing. Just it's interesting. I wish the audio description had time to talk about the scenery because I'm sure it's very pretty. They do make mention when they can of it, I think. But yeah, of course, Lou was also mayor of Hudson for a while. She's not now. That just was a recent thing. She wasn't mayor for a bit. I think her assistant guy is going to run for, I believe. He was randomly British. But I think was going to run for it. I think, give it a shot. So we'll see. I haven't really talked about that in 18 as much. We'll see what happens in 19. These family shows are so interesting because they can just go on forever. But like, you really shouldn't cancel these. There's always something to tell because you've got new generations of people and people that are growing up and all kinds of stuff. I find it very interesting. I really enjoy watching it. I wish it was on longer anymore. I hate the shortened seasons. I wish they would go back to like 18 a season or something because it would go most of the year like Murdoch Mysteries does. And yeah, they cut it back another season. That one's only on for 21. But again, that'll be on most of the year through about April. But this will be ending at Christmas, and I'm so sad. It's right around. I wish they would do another Christmas episode. I wish they would talk about. One time Canadian Thanksgiving was mentioned, but not really. They had one meal there. But only one time they mentioned. They don't have all holiday episodes. It's just mostly just normal day-to-day stuff. I wish they'd have another Christmas one, but like Murdoch Mysteries has had a few, but they just had the one way back in season 4. I think Amy and Spartan got stuck somewhere. I forget exactly what happened, but they couldn't get out of a place for a bit. And it was kind of cold, and they got out, but I think Mallory was with her too. I can't remember, but as a young kid like that, but she was pretty young herself. Yeah, I wish they'd do some more of that kind of stuff. I'm surprised they haven't, with as popular as this show is globally. Other countries check around. I'm sure, like here, it's everywhere. I know in Canada it's on several channels too. I know Yes TV has it. It's kind of a family kind of Christian-based thing. I know they've got it. I'd say lots of other places there too. But check around your country. You've probably got it. If not Netflix, then probably somewhere else probably has it. But if it's a more family-oriented channel, they will probably have it. I don't doubt. I'm sure it's been dubbed. No into Spanish, but probably other languages. But it is very popular, much like Murdoch Mysteries, which I've reviewed, as I said. Very popular shows globally. They're everywhere. Heartland is especially everywhere in this country, at least. Murdoch is not quite as everywhere. But Heartland is, if it streams or something, it's probably got it. Oh, CW has it here too. If you have that app, that's again free and no account required. They have at least through 15. In fact, that's who syndicates ours locally, is our CW station. Also has Murdoch. The two Canadian shows are everywhere, at least locally. But they're on about 16. I still don't get 17 pretty quick. But I would think they might be running around, rolling back to 1, so you might check your local listings on TV. If you have an antenna or a cable provider or something, there's lots of ways to watch the show, as I said, so give it a look. Check out episode 1, and you'll probably get sucked in like I did. I just checked it out because I kept hearing about Heartland. And I got hooked. It took a while for me to get through it. I had some issues with CBC and VPN and stuff happening. Had to make a new account at one point, but I did get through it. It is a good show. It's had like 300 something episodes now, so lots of stuff to watch. Very enjoyable. Things resolve. They have some interconnecting arcy stuff from the season, but most things resolve at the end of the show. Whatever's happening, it was I mean, various people Amy's working with, and just other conflicts that come up. Mostly are resolved in an episode. You might take a season on some issues, but just a nice, enjoyable show. You know, you want something nice to watch that's not horribly complicated, but just watch people living life somewhere different. Give it a look, and you can see what happens in rural Canada as people, with horses and rodeos and cattle and bison and all kinds of stuff. Just a neat show. Plus, if you got kids, there's kids on it. They might want to see what the kids are up to. There have been various, as I said, various kids on the show, and people of all ages, young and old. So probably something for everyone. Can't wait for season 19, and I think CBC usually, I think they start stuff in October usually. I assume I haven't seen. They've put out the fall listing, and Heartland is, of course, mentioned as a returning series, but they don't have dates. I'm guessing I'll just have to look in September and October and see when it comes back. And the nice thing about the Premium of Jim is that is a show that I can see early. I don't have to wait till it airs, but they're pretty quick. Now, hold on one second here. Yeah, as I was saying, there's lots of places to watch it, and very enjoyable little series. Big series, I guess, now. But yeah, I really enjoy it and can't wait for more. So give it a look, and I think I will end this now. It's going pretty long. And I will see you guys in another video.